There is a kind of pain that leaves no scars, that does not scream, that does not break bones, but quietly breaks the soul. It's called neglect. And for the child who grows up unseen, unheard, and emotionally unattended, neglect is not just a lack of care, it is the slow erosion of the self. During childhood, the human brain is like wet clay, shaped by every gesture, every tone, every silence. And while most people believe that trauma only comes from violence or abuse, psychology tells a deeper truth. Sometimes the most devastating wounds come from what never happened. From the hug that never came, the words that were never spoken, the eyes that never looked at you with warmth. Neglect is not just an absence of love, it is a presence of emptiness. A child raised in that emptiness learns to disappear, quietly, slowly, without anyone noticing. John Bowlby, the father of attachment theory, once said that a child becomes what the environment tells them they are. And when the environment says nothing, the child learns to be nothing. Neglect deprives a child of the basic mirror through which identity is formed. The child does not know if they are good or bad, lovable or unwanted, because no one reflected them back. Their inner world remains unvalidated, unacknowledged, and unseen. It's a form of psychological starvation. Just as the body cannot thrive without food, the mind cannot develop without attention. Neglect is like growing up in emotional darkness. You survive, but you do not bloom. A neglected child becomes a silent observer of life. They learn that their needs annoy others, that their emotions are too much, that asking for love is shameful. They learn to shrink. They learn to adapt. They learn to expect nothing. And the tragedy is, they do it quietly. No one sees the damage because there are no bruises, no reports, no screams, just a child who looks fine, who rarely cries, who doesn't cause trouble. But inside they are fading. Psychology describes two main types of neglect, physical and emotional. Physical neglect is the failure to provide food, safety, shelter. But emotional neglect, the failure to connect, to attune, to respond, is often more destructive. Because the body can recover from hunger, but the heart never forgets the hunger for love. A parent who never hits but never listens, who provides everything but presence, still creates a void. And that void becomes the child's world. They grow up believing that love means silence, that comfort must be earned, that loneliness is normal. In adulthood, this manifests in ways most people don't even recognize. The neglected child becomes the adult who says, "I'm fine," even when they're breaking inside. They don't ask for help because they were trained to believe no one would come. They struggle to express needs, to trust others, to rest in closeness. They are often drawn to emotionally unavailable partners, not by choice but by programming. Because their nervous system has been wired to associate love with absence. Peace feels foreign, attention feels dangerous, and affection feels undeserved. Neglect creates an internal working model, a silent script written deep within the mind. It says, "I am invisible, I don't matter, my feelings are irrelevant." And this script runs quietly beneath every relationship, every decision, every dream. When neglected children grow up, they often overfunction, becoming caretakers, perfectionists, people pleasers. They try to earn what should have been freely given. They take responsibility for everyone else's emotions because, as children, no one took responsibility for theirs. They fear abandonment, yet they isolate themselves. They crave connection, yet they cannot trust it. They build walls and call them independence, but inside they are starving for warmth. Perhaps the cruelest part is this: neglect teaches a child that their pain does not matter. So they learn to neglect themselves. They silence their own emotions. They abandon their own needs. They become the parent they once had, distant, dismissive, unavailable, but now to themselves. And this self-neglect becomes their invisible inheritance. But there is hope, because even though neglect leaves deep marks, the human psyche has a remarkable ability to heal through earned security. The healing begins when you start to witness your own pain. When you validate what was never validated, When you say to yourself the words you never heard, you mattered, you were deserving, you didn't imagine it. Healing from neglect is not about blaming the past. It's about reclaiming what was lost. It's learning to give yourself the presence you were denied. It's about learning to feel again, to trust again, to believe that your emotions are not burdens but signals, proof that you are alive. Reprogramming this pattern means creating new experiences of connection. Allowing others to care for you without shame. Letting people see your pain without apology. It means learning to rest without guilt, to speak without fear, to exist without having to earn your place. This is how you rewrite the script. This is how you stop repeating the silence that raised you. And sometimes, the hardest part is breaking loyalty to those who ignored you. It means understanding that walking away is not betrayal, it's self-respect. It's realizing that you owe yourself the love that was denied. That choosing peace is not rebellion, it is recovery. Neglect may have written the first chapters of your life, but healing is your chance to write the rest, with presence, compassion, and awareness, because you were never meant to disappear. You were meant to be seen. You were meant to be loved, not for what you do, but simply because you exist.